Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to give you some tips on how to remove your eye makeup effectively. If you are not removing your eye makeup in total, it can actually cause a lot of problems for you. Irritation on the eyelids, and you can also get buildup around the eyelid rim that can interfere with tear production. You can get something called blepharitis, and you also can get styes, which are basically pimples on the eyelids, and the makeup can settle into your eye and cause a lot of irritation on your cornea, give you what's called a conjunctivitis. So it's really important to take off your eye makeup. The skin of the eyelids is really thin, and unfortunately trying to remove eye makeup can actually be aggravating to the skin of the eyelids because you're rubbing, you're tugging, and then your eyelashes are susceptible to breakage with all of that rubbing and tugging. Tip number one for effectively removing eye makeup is to use an oil cleanser. I know a lot of people are a little fearful of doing this around the eyes because they don't want to cause those eyelid pimples that I mentioned earlier, but this is not an issue. Using an oil cleanser around the eyelids is nice in that it's lubricating, it's not likely to be irritating, and it reduces the amount of rubbing that you have to do around the eyes and the eyelids, because the oil will just dissolve that makeup, those makeup particles, and it'll slide right off the skin. Personally, this is what I use to take off I wear mascara, I don't wear anything else. A mascara and sunscreen around my eyes. This is what I use. It's the Neutrogena body oil. It's just sunflower oil and then a polyethylene glycol, which basically just helps it kind of rinse off more effectively. This works really well. You only need a few tiny drops, and you just swipe it on over your eyelids, gently over the eyelashes, and it just allows for that makeup to slide right off. And then I get in the shower, and just the water in the shower alone removes the oil and removes the oil and mascara and sunscreen. And that really is it, but it's better to follow it up with a gentle cleanser. You know, ophthalmologists frequently recommend baby shampoo for this purpose, and it's a great recommendation. Baby shampoos are tear-free, and the reason for that is they have a surfactant in them that's really gentle called cocamidal propylbutane, and that's great for removing the oily mascara makeup effectively. Plus, it's important to do some kind of wash to your eyelids for good eyelid hygiene. A lot of people suffer from what's called blepharitis, as I mentioned earlier. A lot of you guys out there with a condition called seborrheic dermatitis, it actually can affect the skin around your eyes and your eyelids. Likewise, those of you with rosacea can have a lot of irritation on the eyelids and the eyes. So good lid hygiene is really important for those conditions, and it's also really important if you are prone to recurrent styes. This is a really important part of that. So my preference and what I recommend to you guys is to just use an oil cleanser and then follow it up with a gentle cleanser afterwards. I'll list down below some good gentle cleansers that are fine to use around the eyes, but baby shampoo is also great. As a matter of fact, a lot of baby shampoos are like baby shampoo and wash mambo combos all in one product. And those are great for washing your face and around the eyes. They're just fine. But yeah, I personally use CeraVe hydrating face wash around my eyes just fine. So I'll list some down below for you guys. Another product though that you might try for removing the eye makeup that's similar to a cleansing oil but in a solid state is like a cleansing balm. I've used Albaline in the past. That works really well around the eyes. Same principle with the oil cleanser of dissolving the makeup gently and not requiring you to rub or anything. On the website of the American Academy of Ophthalmology, they actually suggest Vaseline. You know, I've never really used Vaseline to remove my eye makeup, but I know a lot of you guys do. I would imagine it's maybe requires a little bit more rubbing and tugging than just the oil. But yeah, that's another option. coconut oil, all of these are fine so long as you wash them off in the shower. You know, this product that I use, because it has that polyethylene glycol, it rinses off a lot more readily in the shower than like I would imagine Vaseline does. I think with Vaseline you would definitely need to use a gentle cleanser afterwards. But the two together are a really nice way to remove makeup without needing a lot of rubbing or irritation around the eyes. What about a eye makeup remover? In my experience trying out eye makeup removers, I've tried the Paula's Choice one and a ton of drugstore eye makeup removers. I just find that they really don't deliver the same results as using an oil. They take much longer, and the compounds in them I find to be incredibly irritating around the eyes. Like for example, the Paula's Choice one, I thought was horrible, like burned my eyes and everything. And on the American Academy of Ophthalmology website, they'll say, well, if you do choose to use an eye makeup remover, make sure you don't get it in your eyes. But I personally find that very challenging with an eye makeup remover because they are, they're liquids. But if you do use an eye makeup remover, make sure that you follow it up with a cleanser to remove that eye makeup remover, broken up makeup film. Eye makeup removers, they often have preservatives in them that, if left on the skin, particularly the thin skin of the eyelids, can be very irritating and cause problems. So I recommend doing that. What about eye makeup remover wipes and pads? I see these all the time. As a matter of fact, doesn't Almay make these little circular pads that are soaked with eye makeup remover? I think they do. You guys know I'm not a fan of wipes, including wipes for your eyes. Not only are they bad for the environment, and for whatever reason I've developed an aversion to the word wipes. Yeah, I don't think these are the best choice because they're going to require more rubbing and irritation, and that can actually not only lead to, of course, irritation around your eyes, but it can contribute to eyelash breakage. And they don't really effectively remove the mascara in a way that's efficient. I mean, eventually it will come off, like, you know, pressing the pad there and soaking off the mascara, but that's a lot of effort. I've seen people use these and it seems like a lot of effort. You could use an oil cleanser and it comes off in a fraction of a second, whereas the pad, you're like constantly having to press, and I don't know, I don't think that they are the best. That's kind of my opinion. Again though, if you choose to use the wipes or pads, just again, make sure that you wash off the residue with a gentle cleanser. Now, if you wear a lot of eye makeup, eyeliner in particular, another thing you want to do is after you wash off your eye makeup, pull down your eyelid and take a cotton tip applicator, aka a Q-tip, and just run it along the lid line and get up any little makeup particles that may have settled there. I find when you are washing off, I even have this happen from time to time just wearing mascara, I find that when you are washing it off, sometimes some of the chunks will end up landing on the rim of your eyelid along the lash line, and then those can then fall back into your eye and cause a lot of irritation and conjunctivitis. So it's a good idea to just take a little clean, sterile cotton swab, aka a Q-tip, and just run it along the eyelid if you see any eye makeup there. Don't use your finger, and don't use anything like a hairpin or anything like that, anything sharp. Be really careful. Don't use any scrubs, facial scrubs around your eyes. I don't recommend using facial scrubs, period, but I know they're popular. Don't use any kind of face wash that contains any sort of abrasive particle in it. Beads, pumice, walnut shell. Yeah, don't use that around your eyes. It really can cause a lot of irritation. This is an area where I think the skincare industry is really doing consumers a disservice, and that they're not really distinguishing clearly washes versus cleansers. And you may be like, yeah, what's the difference? Cleansers are really meant to clean. Washes have active ingredients for which you're going to lather to your skin, leave on the skin for a few minutes, depending on the ingredient or what have you, and then wash off. You're not using the wash to actually remove stuff. Say for example, an acne wash. Acne washes should not go around the eyes. I think this is an area where a lot of people run into huge problems, especially with benzoyl peroxide washes. They say, oh, I used that and my eyelids swelled up. Yeah, shouldn't go around the eyes. It's not meant to be used to remove your eye makeup or anything like that. Just to the areas of the skin where you have acne. It's not for the eyes. Salicylic acid, same thing. I hear that a lot. Like, oh, I used that acne face wash and my eyelids swelled. Don't use it around the eyes. There are a lot of washes that have alpha hydroxy acids in them as well. You don't want to use those around your eyes either. So alpha hydroxy acid, benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, things in washes, although they're never really called out that way. You don't want to use those around your eyes. So if you do use those kind of products, you want to take off you actually want to wash your face, including your eyes, and remove the eye makeup. You actually want to do that and then use the wash as a treatment to a clean base. Be really gentle with your eyelashes. This is why I don't really care for those pads in particular, or a lot of eye makeup removers, is I find that they're just too harsh on the eyelashes, and that can lead to lash breakage. You know, your lashes, they serve as a barrier to the outside world, protecting your eyeball. And so you don't want to break them. And then for aesthetic reasons, it's nice to have them long and healthy as well. Be really gentle. If you find yourself having to scrub, find another method. I encourage you to go to the oil cleansing way. But if you find yourself having to do this, it's probably not the best thing for your eyelashes. Those are my tips for removing eye makeup and eyelid hygiene. But it is really important. You know, there's this case report in the medical literature of this woman who did not wash off her mascara for like 25 years. She just kept putting mascara on and going to bed with it. Eventually, the mascara got embedded in the underside of her eyelid, and so she had these bumps of mascara up into there that were rubbing on her eyeball, causing a terrible conjunctivitis and very miserable. And the other reason why it's so important is, again, you have these little Demodex mites that live on the eyelashes. And I know they sound freaky and like it grosses people out, but they're really not a big deal unless you're leaving occlusive things on the eyelid and eyelashes and you don't really get proper turnover of the tear film and the oils and things out of the eyelid onto the lashes, you know, deposited there and deposited on the skin. See, makeup kind of gets in the way of that. And if you're chronically wearing makeup or false lash extensions, you can get kind of a lot of irritation on the eyelashes, kind of because of that little mite getting too comfortable, or just bacteria leading to styes. So taking care of your eyelid and lash area, really important. Good cleansing, gentle cleansing, and I recommend the double cleanse method. I think it works best. It works really well for me, at least, and I just find that it's more efficient. I will link some oil cleansers down below for you guys. I mean, you can use on your eyes, and it doesn't matter your skin type. Like if you have oily skin, it's fine. Like you don't need a specific oil cleanser type. They will all work just fine. Because remember, this isn't something that's gonna stay on your skin, leading to potential problems. It's just meant to break up the film of dirt, and in the case of your eyes, the mascara and eyeshadows and all of that stuff. And then you wash it off. It's not meant as a treatment. It's meant to really effectively remove cosmetics and water-resistant sunscreen. I hope these tips were helpful to you guys in taking off your eye makeup. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.